right now affecting the Earth's grid. The Earth has something called the ionosphere, which is a heavily static electrically charged field around the Earth. And when these UVB rays or the ultraviolet rays go through the magnetosphere, it converts them and it answers a whole bunch of questions and it begins to work on you. So the pointers that I give people is clean your fucking filters. Your filters is your liver. Your filter is your kidneys. Your filter is your intestines. And your main filters. Your secondary filter is the lymphatic system. And then you have to do a heavy metal cleanse. All this stuff I actually done. So once you do that, by the time you start getting through the cleansing process, you should notice some significant changes in everything from your breathing to your diet. Everything is going to gradually change on its own. Like people say, I'm going to go vegan. Well, I didn't do it that way. My body said, I don't want no meat. So I said, okay, I didn't give it no meat. But when my body asked for some chicken, goddamn it, fry that motherfucker over there. I'm coming to get it. Right? Because my body is telling me the steps to my ascension the same way my spirit is, but I don't know how to read my body. So learn to read your body by learning what things affect your body when you eat. They tell you how to track your diet. And your diet will change and show your evolution. So opening your pineal gland is not no one thing you can do. But cleaning your filters, spiritual baths are also important. And grounding, walking barefoot on the soil is also important. And if you really want to get down and dirty, you do what look like salat on the soil, put your feet to your knees, to your palms, to your forehead on the ground, 5-point connection, and let mama talk to you, because she gonna tell you something then. That's the next question, Elder. Is that good enough for that? You need some more on that?
Yeah, no, that's fire. That's fire. They say that's fire. All right, the next question we have for you, brother, is from the brother African Booty Scratcher. No, I'll just play. Don't feel bad, brother. We all African booty scratchers. We knew if you're a Nubian and you ever scratch your ass, you're an African booty scratcher. I just scratched my ass once or twice, so I'm an African booty scratcher. I'm
an organic American booty scratcher.
Yeah, we organic American booty scratcher. We are organic American booty scratcher. Okay, so hey, shout out to brother African, man. We're gonna read your question. What is the significance of electromagnetic rays to our DNA, and how do we use the energy of it?
Your body gonna use the electromagnetic waves that's hitting your DNA from the sun. I'm assuming this is what he's talking about, either solar. He's either talking about either solar or earth electromagnetic waves, because the earth radiates electromagnetic current out, and the solar rays send in an electromagnetic current with the UV rays within the spectrum of light of the solar system. But once it touches your DNA, it's gonna do its own thing. It's gonna start awakening. Well, based on the planetary spread from where we at in the universe at the close of the Piscean age and the dawning of the age of Aquarius, or the opening of the age of Aquarius, we're pulling the lid off this motherfucker in real time, y'all. So those, what was known as junk DNA on your DNA codon. Brother Kalai go over this. You have to have him on your show one day, Elder. But Brother Kalai goes over the UV rays real thorough in the effect on the prokaryotic and eukaryotic cells and how it affects the body. This is going to be your upgrade. Nature's going to upgrade us. Remember, we've been going over Yakub's grafted double for our past few classes, right? Well, Yakub's grafted double didn't have ascension rights, so you got to kill the double. In other words, you got to make it where he can reach what you call angelic status, or reach a higher vibrational frequency known as the love frequency. If they can't learn to love, they can't stay here, because the earth has to go through this change, and anybody don't learn how to love can't stay here. And anybody that's filled with love can't hate nobody for being here.
That's right.
But we've been taught hate for so long that it's even hard to teach love without elements of teaching hate. Because you got to override all the bullshit by teaching the motherfucker to love themselves after they've been told you a slave, nigga, no good, worthless piece of shit, walking around with your pants sagging and your braided up hair and loud boom-de-boom music. What the fuck is wrong with you niggas? Right? So we've come from that. That's what we was being told about ourselves, ego development, right? So we trying to get out of the ego development, which breaks us free from the demi part of the demigod status that we was at as a sleeping giant or waiting to awake, which is also a good book by Anthony Robbins, by the way. Plug a motherfucking book every chance I get.
Fire. That was fire. We got another question for you, brother. They coming in now. The next
Okay,
question
come
we
on.
have for you, brother, is from the brother Daniels. He says, "Do you know how long the rivers, lakes, and streams and creeks will be dead?" I guess when he say dead, like poison, where you can't drink it, because the Native Americans said that you used to be able to drink the water off the top. So
That's
he
right.
says,
Anywhere we had a body of water before they came, we could drink it. We can't do that now.
he said, when we return to its original state. Go ahead.
Well, we have to clean it up first. So what's causing the water to be it's called non-potable water when you can't drink it. And what that means is it's some kind of contaminant in the water that'll make you sick. It's either bacteria like E. coli and salmonella, or it's toxins and chemicals like lead and heavy metals that's in the soil. So one of the things we're going to be doing with the Mississippi River, coming from the Missouri River to the Mississippi, is mass dredging, right? And when we dredge this Mississippi River, we're going to have to take up, it's going to be about 6 feet deeper than it is now. But it has to be dredged in order for it to clean up where it flows clean again. And that's still going to take a couple of years after it dredged before you can walk up to the Mississippi and drink out of it again. But it's going to take some time for us to get the earth cleaned up from this shit. Next question, Elder.
The next question we have for you, brother, is from the brother Marcus Corey. The brother says, what does it mean when a UFO hit a bright light hit you in the face? Now, I say, hey, they want to probe you. So sleep with some grease. Nah, my bad. Go ahead, brother.
I didn't quite understand the question he asked me. You say, what does
it mean when a UFO pull up on you and shine a bright light in your face?
Oh, they just trying to get his attention, because by the time they pull up on him, they already done probed him. They know who he is already. He's been scanned empirically. They looking at his light, and his light could be fluctuating between woke and not woke. Remember, Bible said that they don't see us by our facial features.
Indeed.
And they don't see us by our body size. They see us by the light that we emit into the ethers. You remember that?
Indeed.
So this is what they're doing. They already know who he is. They don't even have to be up close to you to see your light from a distance. They can see who you is. For them to shine a light in your face 9 out of 10, 9 out of 10, they're just trying to get your attention, make sure you're paying attention that they're there. Because they hear, and they hear thick. And they all over this motherfucker. And motherfuckers be looking outside the sky and don't see a big ass shit sit there. Cloaked. Because they use a light frequency to cloak themselves. Next question.
This question's coming fast. If we miss your question, don't worry, man. I'm gonna try to get to everybody. Hey, the brother Marcus Kufi. He says, can Ra Haynes speak on Doc Scroll, the Great Balls of Fire, the stone spears in Costa Rica?
It's not just Costa Rica. Those great balls of fire have been seen throughout the ages on varying parts of the planet. A lot of what we see in is great balls of fire, what's called ball lightning, right? The only difference is when in Bible book, he show you the steel balls. And actually what those is, it's like the equivalent of, instead of using a nuclear bomb and you just want to like isolate it, it's like shooting a bullet instead of shooting buckshots or throwing a grenade or a bomb. It's like using a bullet. What happens is it's metal. When it comes through the ionosphere, it's going to become charged with whatever the part of the ionosphere is most charged with at that point, be either electronic or electric or magnet. But when it comes through those ions, it's going to pick them up. It's going to catch on fire. But when it get into what's called the lower atmosphere, then that's when you see it start attracting the energy from outside of itself, which look like lightning flying through the sky, because it's triggering the electromagnetic field and the earth from the Schumann resonance to the ionosphere. And it's arcing that like static ball, or like when you drag your feet across the carpet, only because it's such a big piece of metal, the sparks look like lightning. So where they come from, several different places they come from. Some of them come from ships, from smaller, what we call in the Nation of Islam, baby planes. Then you got the ones that the moon shoot. The moon shoot where they got some shit going on and the humans won't fix it, and they got more than enough opportunities. They just shoot a goddamn ball, some ball lightning down here, blow that little area up, or that one man house is doing the dirt or whatever because they can get pretty strategic with them. But they coming from different places and they're not all from the same places. That's why some of them is orbs. Some of them look like cylinders. And some of them are huge, some of them are small, depending on what they was trying to accomplish at the time.
Hey, we got a good one for you right here. Shout out to Sister Spiritual Queen Bling. Her question is, what do you think gonna happen with the housing because the rent and the mortgages are ridiculous? And could you break down to add on to that? Could you break down like the science of the projects or why they put Black Nubians in projects or these housing communities where the rent is cheap? Go ahead.
Okay, so first off, the market is gonna collapse. Ain't no doubt about it, because the financial institutions are switching over. Last time they collapsed in 2008, there was a big switch from what we was like the euro came into prominence, and a lot of the currency in Europe fell under the euro, and it caused back a ripple effect over there. And we were supposed in 2008, Canada, the United States, and Mexico was supposed to go to something called the Amero. The Amero was like the euro, but it was for North American countries. This was under the Bush administration and part of the garden plot to overthrow the earth. And so what happened, what's going to happen is the banks are going to crash. All of the mortgages, secondary mortgage contracts is held by the banks are going to be forfeit by the bank because they're going to collapse. When they forfeit, that's when you go down there and you ask for your fucking deed to your property from the Secretary of State. Because when the banks fold up, your property then you got I think it's a 30-day window to put the lien on the property. So y'all got to remember this. You put the lien on the property because I don't believe in no paperwork. But the only reason I'm telling them this is to make sure that the mortgage company don't try to come after their house on the recovery. And that's because we don't even want the motherfuckers back in power at all. So when we're switching over, we want the many people as they can to become what you call holder in due course. Holder in due course meaning you're the real owner. If you got a car and you don't have a paper declaring you holder in due course, you don't own it. The same with a piece of property or a house or a condo. If you're not holder in due course, you're not the owner, you are just the renter. And then the rent is adjusted exponentially based on the economy and how many people you paying the rent to in actuality versus what they telling you on the lease. As far as the projects go, well, that was based on an experiment done with rats in cages, and it had control groups of rat. I'm gonna give you examples of what I'm talking about. Like one control group might be only 5 rats per square foot, or only 2 rats per square foot in a 40-foot enclosure. Plenty of fresh bed and change every day regularly, and plenty of food and plenty of water, right? And the next one, it might have all of the same shit, except they might never change the bed. And then in the next one, they might put no bedding in that motherfucker, put them on the hard bottom, give them a limited amount of resources and watch what happens. Well, they found that the first 2 groups managed just fine. And then they increased the population was the key. In other words, they turned condominiums into the projects. Instead of it being a 2-family home, now it's a mother of 8 living there. So you overcrowded on purpose because you knew she had 8 fucking kids when you moved her there. And it's only 2 fucking bedrooms in most of the projects, right? So the projects was a social experiment on humans based on an experiment done by rats. And I posted on that before already on my Facebook page. But a lot of this stuff is on there. I got already posted.
We got another good question for you, brother. I know it's a lot of people out here probably want to know the answer to this one. And we ain't answer them in no specific order. We just click it through and find the question to answer. All right, so I think her name is... I lost her name, but I still got the question in my head. So shout out to that. Oh yeah, okay. Connie Turner. All right, Turner. Should people worry about the credit report, their credit report?
Man, my motto is fuck a job, fuck a bill, and fuck credit. Debt is slavery. The better your credit score is, the better of a slave you are. You are the most capable of function as a slave. The better your credit score is.
Oh, that was good right there. Hey, you got that answer. That's a good one. All right. So another brother asks, and we'll get to that brother on the UCC thing. Hey, so a brother asks,
So it's 1027, flips out 19. 19 is the sacred seal. Alpha to Omega. 2 and 7 is 9, born God. we're gonna do some invites. I don't really. Right now I'm just about to go over some couple of current events, and we're gonna talk about the current events. So I don't know what to. We do these invites while we prepping for this. I don't know how it's gonna turn out. I have to roll me a fat one while I'm talking. So I didn't plan on doing this particular video, but the messages is coming in, made me have to answer them. So okay, so I do my invites. They only allow me to do 50 invites. And here, let me see if I can do some. Nope, I can't even do no Facebook invites. Invites to join. Okay, so I had a channel message came in yesterday, and we did a video to go over that channel message. Let me grab my my stand over here. And anyway, so I went over that message yesterday, and god damn, all hell breaking loose in weather patterns. I'm still listening to people think that this is HARP. But what y'all didn't know, Trump shut HARP down in 2019, and they saying that they spraying chemtrails in the sky to cloud shit up. But what they spraying is some shit to clean up the chemtrails, because the military shut down all of the chemtrail planes because they caught them spraying prohibited substances that's on the ban list of the FDA and all that old bullshit, as if they wasn't in on the shit. They ban the shit and then they still use it so that they can catch you using what they use, and they can punish you, but they don't get punished for doing the same shit. This is the same thing they did to our leaders. All of these misleaders, wannabe leaders, fake leaders, fraud leaders, front leaders, the leaders that's hustlers, the con artist, the slickster, the backbiter, the thief, the robber, them your leaders. But the leaders that's the real leaders is the ones they told you was the criminals, right? They law creates the criminal by default. Their law is not designed for the organic people of the land. Big Mama said they got until the 7th, and you're going to see some shit on the 7th and the 8th. This came through on 2 different Oracle messages, all almost 30 days apart, and they in the receipt. So the one Oracle message I did yesterday came in on yesterday. And then the sister seen the video, and she sent me the clip from her video from back on November the 22nd, where she said the exact same shit. Now, here's the thing about the oracles that's reading this shit. They not going to get the same message unless the message is consistent across the line, spiritually speaking. That means that their messages have to line up with what Big Mama is saying in order for them, the message to repeat. Can you imagine getting the same hand in cards back to back? The exact same hand playing cards back to back. That shit is not likely to happen. Not only are the oracles that's sending me the messages telling the same story, but there is a sister on YouTube, Katharina Atkins, that reads the Divine Feminine, who also told the same story. Now, the funny thing is this damn seahorse asked me, the last thing she said is, how's your arm? That shit don't work on me. I feel it. I know what they did. It don't work. So somebody was asking me in the comments, what did the golden shoulder mean in one of my posts? And the golden shoulder was the protection from the dirt they was about to send my way. So they sent the suicide spell. That shit not gonna work on me. I'm not suicidal. You gotta already be deep in apathy for a suicide spell to work. So the suicide spell was called the Suicide King. And what they didn't know is when they thought he was a suicide king, he was raising his sword to sever the head of the beast. Y'all motherfuckers don't know shit. So when you come for the righteous, we ain't got to do nothing. Big Mama gonna tear this bitch up. Don't nobody got to bleed shit.